All right, let's talk about Grizzly, which is a 1979. Is it 1979? Now that I say that, I probably screwed that up. It's from the 1970s. It's the 1970s. It had to be past 75 because this is a movie that is basically a Jaws ripoff, but with a giant bear. It's about a giant bear, grizzly bear that's like 80 foot tall, or 8 foot tall. God dang. It's really tall and gigantic, and it's going to kill everybody in its path. And the thing that surprised me looking at Grizzly, like whenever the movie started, I was like, am I watching the wrong movie? Because this movie was so whimsical with the score, but it reminded me of Jaws. Like I always forget whenever you don't watch Jaws for a long time, and then I rewatch it again. I'm like, this movie is more has more of a whimsical score and more of like a happy feeling score than anything if you think about it. It's got the scary music in it, Jaws, of course, but then there's a lot of whimsical, like, adventure type of music. So it's funny to hear that in this as well in Grizzly. Now, Grizzly, there's really not a lot to say about it. So looking at Grizzly, I wanted to see, because I watched Double Toasted's video on Grizzly 2, The Revenge, which is a movie that was never completed before. They had a bootleg, or they had one cut that they kind of completed in whenever it was released, but then they made another cut. I'm guessing in the past 10 years. But I watched that review and it looked really funny, so I saw Grizzly 1 was free on Amazon Prime, so I went ahead and checked it out. That's the reason why I watched the first Grizzlies, because I thought Grizzly 2 looked so fun. And watching this one really, like, there's not much to say. Like I said, it's mostly just a harmless killer bear movie. Like, a bear goes around and kills people in camp. And then there's the chief of police that goes out. I think it's chief of police. It's this group of people who go out and take matters in their own hands to try to kill the shark, or kill the bear, because it's just like trying to kill the shark in Jaws. Like, they're up in the air, and then they've got a camera set on this bear, like, trying to find it, trying to kill it. And pretty much that's the basic thing. It's basically just Jaws again, but not as fun until the gore happens, or when the violent moments happen. There's some gore in this, but it wasn't as prevalent as I thought. But whenever the horror bits happen, I was pretty interested. Like, I was invested in being entertained by this because I like exploitation horror. And the horror stuff was fun, but watching the characters talk, I just did not give a shit at all about any of that. I thought it was really boring with any of the characters, anything they say. I thought it was really uninteresting. So, really, besides that, there's nothing much else to say about Grizzly. Like, it was a somewhat enjoyable time, but it wasn't anything like that I'm gonna really remember. I wonder if I really want to see Grizzly 2, and I might have to just rent it, because I saw it was you can rent it on Amazon Prime. I don't know if I can find it free anywhere at all, but I do want to see Grizzly 2 just to watch that one. And that one apparently has George Clooney and Laura Dern in it as young stars, which is pretty hilarious. This one didn't really have anybody memorable. It just was a lot of just boringness with some fun horror moments. But when it wasn't horror, it was just a boring movie, and it didn't interest me or fascinate me that much. But I did enjoy the horror stuff. So Grizzly, I think, is middle of the road. Gave it 3 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd. So that's all I can say about Grizzly, really. Eventually I'll try to watch the second one, but that is it for this one. And I'll talk to you guys later.